Well, hello everyone. Hope that you've really enjoyed today as much as I have, that you've learnt as much as I have today, and gosh, how to summarise it really. And Sarah, thank you from an AI side of things. You were picking up pretty well on what I was reflecting on as well. I think Emma did have a great point about separating information from technology. But Rennie, it was really interesting to hear you just reminding us that AI, isn't going to ever be 100% accurate, and it will never tell us actually how it solved the problem. So it did raise to me that we don't want to stifle the technology, but actually having guardrails which allow to reflect on ethical issues, on quality, rather than that accuracy point, which I think Nick was really pointed out, the trustworthiness side. One thing I was surprised about was we didn't talk about security very much. So not over policing it, which I think Rennie was part of your point in your observations of what's happening in Europe. But yeah, to what extent actually we could teach the artificial intelligence to actually be considering that and considering the quality. And I was really fascinated about how that actually fed into what Simon Rawlinson was talking about from a data ownership point of view. Simon was challenging us on that we really need a different mindset going forward, is that instead of looking at a sequence, a waterfall approach, which we tended to do in the past, is actually we need to go much more for an agile approach and really being able to digitally enable the freeing of data from phases, so that actually we're consuming, we're using, we're monetizing data from varying and dynamic sources, which kind of gets us back to the artificial intelligence side of things as well. So there's this real rich tapestry of data, isn't there, which is such a challenge. It's beautiful. It's what's so exciting for us. And you can see I've got maps behind me. That's because I come from geography. We shouldn't be thinking about where the data comes from a technology perspective. It's that richness is how we can get intelligence from that, how we can get that smarter decision making, which I think is a thread which has come right the way through the day. I really liked what Simon was talking about from an ownership perspective, what the elements are of possession, responsibility, accountability, the monetization and promotion, which kind of got us to the point where actually should we be thinking about promotion rather than possession? So thinking about interoperability, collaborative working, outcome-based thinking, value creation. And thinking about the data curator, the responsible custodian who is thinking about how we manage our data, our information to support whole life of our built environment. And that really then takes us across to the sustainability in the circular economy, doesn't it? Because what was being really discussed there is the systems thinking of our built and managed environment. Is that rather than having silos, how we really integrate. So that's the integration side of things. There was one piece that which amused me, but challenges this thinking around urban mining. I'd never thought about it that way before, so I found that utterly fascinating. But Trudy Sully also brought up, should we be thinking about barriers for change and how we break those down? Because there's a massive cultural issue that kept on coming up, I think, here. And how we are able to do that partly by understanding language better so that it actually fits for the general public. Someone was bringing out, well, shouldn't we be able to actually talk about this to our children as we bring them on as well? And then finally, moving to where we started, right back at the day, which was about the whole life value, and a superb presentation by Shiva. And I was interested that what was coming up was when we were talking about process, we do talk about defining data requirements. Are we thinking about information and data flows, just as Simon Rawlinson was challenging us earlier on? this whole thing about reducing barriers and democratizing the data capture process. So often what I refer to is the trades, the plumbers, the electricians. Why haven't we got tools which they don't have to, they need to know the importance of managing information. They don't need to know all of the detail behind it. So if there's a tool which is available on their iPhones, which allows them to know what tasks they're going out to each day, what they'll need to be able to do that, and then to be able to update data, I think is a really important one. So this whole human-centric approach to whether we're talking about digital twins, artificial intelligence tools, is something which has come up repeatedly today. So understanding the why, not necessarily the detailed how. I think Anna Sonny also brought up a wonderful one, talking about the data champion or the data chaperone, which I hadn't heard before. But again, that human-centric approach I thought was really quite fascinating and really helpful. The point, I think, again, that Anna possibly was how we make people feel they belong in this, that it doesn't have to be just about information management experts. So we must stop talking in an echo chamber. This needs to embrace everybody involved with the built environment, but in a way which is appropriate. And this then brings me back to really what Shiva was starting with, is that to enable whole life value management of information, we need a strong and clear mandate, and that's lacking at the moment. And fair dues, I think that's a challenge in front of us. So you were talking, Shiva, about awareness programs, pilot projects, being able to share experience, education and upskilling is something perhaps we haven't talked that much about today, but I think certainly from a nima perspective, we're really concerned about what we can do to help and upskill people. So our next conference in the autumn, we're proposing to focus on a review that is being undergone at the moment on the current information management mandate within the UK. We're undergoing extensive collaboration at the moment, working with Construction Leadership Council. If you haven't seen an expression of interest for that in being involved in the consultation, we will. I'm going to ask now that we put that in the link in the audience chat for somebody, please. We're very, very keen to explore what can be generic principles, if you like, then what are specific to you within your role, so you know exactly what you need to do to respond to managing information for whole life, for the built and the natural environment. So making it easier, not disrupting what we've already got, but making it easier and also making it future-proof as well, as far as we can, and how we can anticipate it. So this isn't about what people used to think through 3D modelling and so forth. It is purpose-driven, outcome-based thinking. It is about allowing for collaboration, and it is allowing for the guardrails for emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence. We are hugely dependent on our volunteers. So again, please do reach out to us if you would like to help on this. There's so much that we need to accomplish here to be able to develop frameworks to support whatever that mandate becomes, whether it's a charter, whether it's organisations, whether that mandate it. We really want to explore what the approach is and how to really help everybody across the industry, so that human-centric approach. So one of the things is, if you do go over to the nima website and you've enjoyed and have got value from this conference, I'm going to cheekily say to you, there is a donation button. So if you feel that you got value out of the conference, don't feel obliged, but we would be hugely grateful to you if you went across to the nima website and made a donation. That will help us in all that we're trying to do in supporting the UK BIM framework, and whatever that becomes in its branding with the mandate, and being able to do the networking, the connections, and being able to collaborate with a huge number of organisations who are also sharing this vision, this mission to help the whole of the built and managed environment to really meet the challenges of our world today. And talking about volunteers, I would like to now invite Stephen Holmes to join me because we would like to be able to tell you what it really feels like to be a volunteer over with nima. And Stephen, welcome to you. I have brought you here on false pretenses because actually what we want to do is thank you. And Stephen has absolutely had an outstanding contribution to nima right back in the early days. Gosh, Stephen, how long have you been with us as a volunteer?
Over 8 years now.
Over 8 years. So Stephen, from a whole range of different points of view, supporting our different communities. I think Bimford Design was one of them, Stephen, wasn't it? But in the background, and this is partly why we wanted to make this award to you, Stephen, you've worked tirelessly on our operations and more recently focusing on our finance, helping on developing our budgets, and supervising our finances. And we simply would not be here today without your outstanding contribution. So thank you, Stephen. Really, really grateful to you. I don't think there's enough words to express actually how grateful not just I, but everybody at nima are to you for everything that you've done over the 8 years through thick and thin. Whether it be changing jobs, through ill health, with COVID, all the rest of it. And well, hopefully, and I am going to hand it to you, Stephen, just to describe your experience as a volunteer. Hopefully, yeah, it is hard work sometimes, isn't it? And it can be frustrating, but hopefully, I'm hoping that you're going to say, actually, we've had a lot of fun in working together as well. So over to you, Stephen, but congratulations. I would like to officially award you the Outstanding Contribution Award on behalf of all of nima.
Well, thank you very much, Anne. That's very unexpected and very much appreciated. So thank you hugely to that. And a big thank you to everybody, because everybody I've worked with in the organisation as I've been volunteering, it's been an amazing experience. There is so much knowledge, so much support. Everybody has such a willingness to want to make this happen. It is quite amazing, and their willingness to share information is what I was especially impressed with. I think over the years is that we all have common problems, and just getting around it. It's that networking which is one of the biggest benefits. Yeah. And I've always seen, for an organisation like nima to exist, it can only exist by the people who contribute to it and make it happen. And we have a huge network of volunteers. I get involved because that it's a cornerstone of my day job. Information management is my lifeblood. So, having, an organization that supports it, evolves it, promotes it, across our industry, and getting cross-sector information as well and learning from it is an amazing experience. But it means actually, in order to an organization that's grown the size of nima is now, it needs people to roll their sleeves up and actually help get the job done. Whether that's, working at supporting, writing some of the white papers, groups, bringing their expertise and their industry expertise to us and helping promote and evolve our standards, our guidance, our knowledge. Whether it's actually helping just run the business. We need people who can roll up, who are good at organising things, helping prepare events, doing some of the administration work, our social media, our website. They don't happen overnight. Somebody actually has to do all these things. Running our business as a business and an organisation, the size it is now, and with the scale that we've been putting on conferences like this and our physical conferences, Digital Construction Week, etc., that we've done the years, takes a lot of manpower and effort and a lot of people willing to give quality time. And it is about giving quality time as well. It is a commitment to do another job effectively. I work with my employers. I've worked with 3 different companies in the time I've worked with nima, and every single one I've had a conversation with about me giving some committed time during that work time to have meetings, because everybody else has day jobs as well and we have to work with everybody else. But also agreeing, what personal time I'm going to give, what time I can commit from my work time, to give an assurance that I can give so many hours a week to volunteering to actually help do something productive for nima, to make nima the success it is, and that's the really important thing. And we are desperate for more people. We have so many things. We are very ambitious about what we want to do, what we want to be doing in the future. We need your help. If you can commit time to us, drop us an email, get in touch. We would love to hear from you. We really want to, we'll have a conversation with about what your skill sets are, what your interests are, what you'd like to get involved with. We'll look at what needs we have and align those to where we feel you can really benefit from and where you can help and support us. And get involved with us, please. We really do want your help. So thank you again for the outstanding contribution award. That was very unexpected. So thank you very much for that. But please come and join us. We do need your help.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. That's great. Again, congratulations. Very much deserved. There's plenty of people saying that in the chat as well. But I'd like to hand back over to Fiona, who's another superb volunteer vice chair who has put out an amazing amount of work into setting up the virtual conference with others as well. And I wouldn't want to start naming everybody. There are so many. But Fiona, back over to you, please.